Okay, let's see what's going on. So, this is an interesting lineup from BPE here. So BPE has a very interesting lineup here. They have a very mixed team, while Hype as usual has gone for the standard hammer with their Type 99s. So Hype has a better MBT lineup here in the fact that they can all move at the same speed, you all have the same gun, same armor, whereas BPE have their own type. They have two leopards which can hold down tanks and snipers, so they can counter the types. But if these two were to clash, I feel like Hype would have the advantage, simply because they're able to all focus at the same time, so they can delegate tasks to each other, they can move around, and of course the fact that they're a hell of a lot more fast. So in this battle, it seems that BPE is pushing for 2, and their single type is going for 3. Of course, this means that Centaur 120 is probably going to take out Escobar there. I think Hype might get overwhelmed here, but as long as they can take both of those cap points and keep them for as long as they can, they may have the advantage here. Of course, those two Merkavas are probably the better tanks for this scenario here, but of course Hype is able to reposition a hell of a lot faster. So if they can kill off, they've killed it off, that might mean that both of their types are able to come down here as fast as they can. Or maybe they're willing to sacrifice this cap and instead go for 1. It's up to them really. Of course Hype is slowly getting swarmed. This Merc is instead having slight problems with the type in the front. So you can see here, ooh, maybe, go for that side armor. Oh, no, he rammed it. The Scent will have a great match. Oh, he will. But so far, should be able to go for that Type 99 there. Thank you, Muck. I try to teach people as well as myself. And thank you for seeing all my videos, Spiky. Feel free to comment on them. Hype is managing to hold them off at 2, and of course, Zabrino, no idea how to say his name, is actually so far managing to hold 1 for as long as he can. He needs to get rid of this type so he can continue capping, but it may not be able to continue for long, but at least he can delay them here. And Hype so far has managed to stay control of their cap. BPE are 100 points behind Hype at this point. Good shot by Escobar there into the turret ring, but this type is so far managing to keep Escobar from actually intercepting Hype's own cappers at this point. Type has a bunch of their types moving forward at the moment. They only have 1 badly damaged type and another full health one at 3. But for now they do kind of have the advantage. As long as they can keep BPE from overwhelming them in certain places, I think Hype may be able to win this match. Why they have 2 types going towards 3, I don't know. They should be able to kill that guy with 1. And instead it seems like they might just be giving up 2. Which is actually just kind of depressing when you think about it. I'm actually recording this, aren't I? Yeah, I am, that's good. I feel like this is a bit of a mistake, delegating 2 types and a Centauro to 1 guy, and basically letting BPE have 2, while the rest of their guys are up. They have another 2 moving. And that leopard, of course, has taken his time trying to get there, so Hype may be able to regain control of this cap circle before BPE rolls in. It's still been a relatively close game. I feel like Hype has the advantage on this map simply because of how the cap points are spread. But, and of course, the conflict so far has been on these 2 points, which means that it takes longer for the slow Merkavas of BPE's team to reach. Which of course the Merkavas are actually BPE's ace in the hole here. Although they maybe have a slightly better turn in game in phase 2, so far it is completely the Merkava's speed have really let them down in this one. And of course Hype, I feel like Hype has better swarming tactics here. They're very good at this. As you can see, it's got baiting the type into shooting him. Which leaves that Merkava completely exposed, so it means that Ascot can now help out Sebastian, they can kill off that 99A. I feel like Mencha, good shot there. And then Sebastian may be able to kill off this level 2A6, I'm not sure. Mencha does actually have the penetration to get rid of this guy. Let's see where he's aiming. Or not. As you can see, Hype is winning this place again. I feel like it might be simply because they have 99s and they can engage and react faster, whereas BPE's mixed tank lineup is actually not exactly that really good of a deal, to be honest. I feel like they should have either gone a full Merkava team or elsewise. Hype is far more willing to be able to bring up its members to support each other, such as this situation, whereas the Merkavas would have never really been able to. They're just too slow for their own good. Not to mention the engine boost. As you can see here, tracking shots to keep the Leopard in check, and now Hype has a AC-130 who should be able to put the hurt on the enemy team. And I think they might be able to spend 2 ready racks to bring that AC-130 down. But at the moment the AC-130 can't really fire on anyone at the moment. As you can see here, the tracking shots on Escobar, good play. And he's hopefully going to go for the other tracking shot at the back, or instead go straight to the back of the turret. Oh, the AC-130 is shooting people now, but at the moment he's actually more of a danger to his own team. As you can see here, he's thinking about it, and there we go, tracking shot. I think, not sure. In replays or spectator mode such as this, the actual act of firing the gun isn't shown, whereas in third person it is, so things can be a little bit weird. But yeah, I think BPE's, not to mention I feel like this cap point here is a lot easier to defend than that one. This is originally a PvP map, so in all honesty, having it adapted for GLOPS I think was a mistake. Yeah, that's cock in there, what's he doing? Yeah, whoever gets the AC-130 has a really good shot at this map simply because they have something that can rain shots on people from below. And Hype has had to give up number 4 simply because they can't really get the numbers in, so instead it looks like they're going to concentrate on the refinery and hold it. Because all they need to do is basically to get half the capture points, and they should be fine. And of course they have those pillboxes in play now, which might actually team kill Hype's own types, which would actually be quite funny to see. See here, go for that leopard. Tracking shot. No. He's going to focus, let the leopard shoot him. So, Zubran, you can go. Inside tank is likely to kill that leopard. There we go. Very good flanking fire here. Yeah, and it's not even showing where they're aiming now, which is actually kind of shitty, because this would actually be a really good opportunity for me to be able to see how they play. I wish I've never actually been in an Armored Warfare team battle before, so this is coming from a solo PvP player experience. But the swarm tactics used by Hype here are very, very good. Look at that, they're basically completely dominating these guys, where it seems that BPE is having to fight solo, Hype instead of fighting as a team. Very nice coordinated play here, and it looks like they are going to attempt to go for the 1830, which is... there it is. He's going to go for it. I think he was hoping to go for the refinery, not sure. But it doesn't matter who has it. Whether it's in like standard GLOPS tactics, like one player will go for it and the rest will ignore it. Instead, Hype is going to get this thing as fast as they can and immediately dunk it on the map. And I think inside tank in the Centaur 120 is going to go for the bomber as well. And since Hype has probably had to leave Sabrina to die here. I'm not, or maybe he's gone simply to go out the capture point. It's really hard to tell, but I think him going for the capture point has at least been able to distract these guys for a bit. Oh god, we know where that bomber's going, and it's going to land straight on that match. You see, Sabrina here is actually basically holding him in place, and it's very likely that the BPE doesn't know where that bomber is going. So instead, they think it's going for 7, but instead it's going to land right on that mark. Ooh, 3 kills. That has really taken the wind out of BPE's sails there. Now imagine Asaka's probably going to try and shoot that Merkava. As you can see here, the superior speed of the Type 99s allows them to, as we have said before, basically swarm the map and get into position really quickly. So I think either BPE should go full Merkavas on this one, simply so they have the ability to hold the types in place, or go for a full type squad as well. It's hard to tell at this point. Ouch, and taken out by that leopard. But at the very least, Hype does have the advantage on this map, and it'll be interesting to see what BPE has to say about this game. I think they might possibly agree with my conclusions, I'm not sure. Nobody really up to me, but at the very least, probably agree at least that the mixed MBT team hasn't really helped them at all. I mean, of course, having every single tank in the game does help, and of course you can't help it when some people just don't have all the tanks and they eventually don't have the ability to swap. So it does help being in the game for longer. Sebasta backing up, waiting for the rest of the types to go in. Zabroni over there, possibly being used as a distraction maybe. There we go, so he's singling out that leopard and he will likely be able to kill it. Right in the, I think it's in the lower plate down there. Let's see where he's aiming. So he's probably going for the turret ring. Maybe turret ring. No, lower plate. No, somebody else killed him. The fact that we don't really see where they fire can be a bit of a shitter, to be honest. And now we have 2 bomber spawns. So instead that Centauro might be sitting there to be able to get, yeah, he's sitting there to get shots on people. Look at this. 1. Reload. He's probably out of ready rack now. There we go. So his ready rack is empty, so he now has a 6-second reload between shells, which sounds like really fast for MBTs, but for tanks, but for glass cannons like this, it can be quite slow. If I was him, I would probably go for the bomber right now, but the ability to simply see where the enemy is and not fire is, as you can see, he's got information on where they're going, they know where they are, so he's probably going to go to that bomber spawn now. So Hype will probably have 2 bombers by the end of this, and they'll probably suicide bomb it, I'm not sure. Or they might just be okay with just 1 bomber. Kozarski, not give it down there. Yeah, I don't think they're going to bother with the bomber now. They're basically, this game is won by quite a bit by Hype standards. Yep, and they're just going to leave it there so if they can take out those two guys, but that bomber doesn't really matter anymore, and as you can see, go for the tracking shot on that leopard has really made a difference on this one. Going for the turret ring to take him out, and... So good play to Hype. BPE, I think they might have had some issues with everything. They may have had to cycle out some players and bring in additional ones. Not sure. But they did get heavily overpowered in that game. So let's see about the post-game stats. Let's have a look at the post-game stats. So... Jesus Christ, 130,000 damage. That is a lot of kills done. Those bombers in the AC-130 probably really helped out, and BPE was left trailing in the dusk there. I feel like their lineup is still better, as they don't have the slow liability of the Merkavas, but maybe having those Merkavas will help BPE. As the Leopards they were taking last match were literally unable to fight the types, and they were unable to secure objectives on their own. So this is fight number 2, last round. Hype won pretty decisively. So let's see how this goes. They did. They done got themselves skinned. That's quite funny, Bork. Okay, let's see how this is going. So Hype has the north part of the map, and BPE has the south. So BPE has the more defensible positions, such as that side, which I think is like possibly the most defensible part of the game, really. But Hype should be able to at least swarm the refinery, get down to there, and then of course if they cover their lower plates, they should be really protected. I'm not sure why they went with the Thunderbolt though. He doesn't have the raw alpha damage. Well, he has better alpha damage than the Centaur does. Better penetration, but he doesn't have the DPS ready rack burst. So taking the Thunderbolt may be a mistake. See here, 2 types going for it, and then a Merkava flanking. They may be able to help out. I'm not sure, but Hype is probably gonna do north attack and go down. I mean, it's a shame we can't click on tanks by simply clicking on them, as it would make figuring out who is substantially better. Didn't get a hit on that Merkava. See, both their Merkavas are going down now, and probably learn he's about to drown, which is not exactly a good thing. Escobar getting really screwed up by Sebasta there. Really nice camera thing, by the way. I actually want that pretty badly. So might have been a mistake there, just saying. This Hype is actually losing that part of the map pretty badly, but they still have a hold to these objectives, so as long as they can keep BPE in a stranglehold, they should be able to do this pretty well. Also, I need to message someone to see how many games we've got to cover after this. Because I don't think I can actually do this for another 3 hours. Let's see see, searching for the weak point. Right in the turret ring. Actually, a surprisingly difficult shot to pull out. I've never really managed to kill types like that. Most of the time, it basically comes to hitting the turret roof, but that turret ring is really difficult to kill. I think Escobar is likely to get heavily pinned down now. I think going in on his own was a mistake, and I think BPE is outmatched in this battle by quite a bit. While they were heavily able to pounce on Yin and presumably the Panzerjäger battalion as well, median height has probably been a rude awakening that there's always a bigger fish. I mean, I think overall as a PvP clan, Sorry is better than Hype, but I think Hype is probably the better global operations clan. And as you can see here, I don't think that Thunderbolt helped at all in the end. They might have been better off with another MBT, or maybe simply using a Centaur 120 like Hype has done, or maybe even a Draco. But as you can see, it's not going well. Hype. I mean, BPE does have the chance to be able to pull this off, but now with an AC-130 line in the air, they need to cap this bomber, and they need to cap it fast. And of course, putting himself down there. 7, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There we go, and they're likely to put that bomber either on 4 or 5. I would actually put it on 5 and let it clear out the types for them, or maybe do it for 4. I'm not sure. I can't make decisions like this, so it's up to these guys really. Or maybe they might be using that bomber for something else, and maybe wait to save it. Here they're going to clear out that type. Beige Blood is probably going to go for Sebastian, maybe. Can they do it? No, Sebastian's going to... Ooh, ouch. Ooh. Of course, Beige Blood is probably going to go for that type over there. The low hit point vehicles. But of course, inside tank always at the ready. And being able to shoot these guys. I don't think that bomber was very well placed. He's only going to defeat one type of person. But then again, it's very likely that that bomber was about to be expired. Ooh, can he? Yeah. Ooh, almost. Fucking shit. That looked like it hurt. But yeah, I think BPE is very heavily outmatched in this one. Although it is a 50-50 for the cat points, so Hype is using a... Well, they're all using Type 99s. This ring does need a nerf, by the way. Armor nerf to the lower plate, and maybe a speed nerf as well, so... It isn't the fastest and most well-armored tank of turn 9. As you can see here, it is a ridiculously deadly vehicle. It's either this or the Merkava usually. I don't feel like BPE would have been better with either full type or full Merkava lineup. Instead, he's going to go for the Merc, side armor. Nope, lower plate. There we go. Escobar over there is getting pounded, and then they're likely to swarm this Type 99 next. I bet BPE wishes they had a bomber. I bet they wish they do. I sure would. See here, that guy, even the frontal armor of the Type 99 is still weak. Well, the side is. And, well, you can only really have so much armor. He's wiggling there trying to get shots off. They have a Merkava coming up. Let's see how... who is it? Heisman. Let's see how Heisman goes. So he's climbing up, really regretting how goddamn slow that tank is. Hoping to try and make it. And while BPE is fighting like lions, Hype has the wolf pack going. And being swarmed is not going to help, and Hype is likely to take another AC-130. BP is going to be able to take those pillboxes though, but I'm not sure where they're going to put them. The pillboxes usually go on the outskirts of the map, but at least they might be able to at least do some good damage versus those types. Are you going to be able to? Nope. And I feel like this Merc has just sacrificed himself here to do some damage. I would go for Sebastian actually. Maybe get a tracking shot on him. No. No. There you go, that's a good kill. That's a good hit. Come on. He's still got a very big chunk of hit points, so you should be able to weather fire for a while. Foxtrot is having a lot of fun with this Sebastian's type. Ooh, might be able to punch through. You can see he's having some issues with the type's plate as usual. Heavily damaged here. And he's basically dead at this point. Come on, don't expose your side armor like that. Oh, damn it, Escobar. Rubel might be able to kill off the Centauro. No, go for the type. Okay. Line of pillboxes over there. Let's see how this Merc is doing. Nope. Let's see how the Merc is doing. No, the Merc is dead. Okay. See how Karsky is doing. Zabrino is probably just going to end up sacrificing himself so we can get into the battle with a full tank. Hype does seem to have a better grasp of the wildcards, and at least more wildcards, because they're all appearing on their side, and well, BPE is the one that's losing. Why would you give the winning team all the stuff? Dunno. Nakovic managed to kill Ascoi, but at least Ascoi is going to be able to go back into the battle with a full hit points tank. Sabronic down there as well. How's that Thunderbolt doing? I haven't really seen much of what this guy's been doing this game. The question is, where is this bomber going? Is it just going to make it sacrifice itself? How's this going to go? White power can never free players. Jesus. And that's pretty much ended this game, really. It is now 2-0 in Hype's favor. They'll probably fight another match, really. But I'm gonna poke somebody about this whole scenario. Am I the only streamer? Okay, there's literally 2 streamers doing this, I think.
User joined your channel.
Hello, Spitfire. Hello,
Hi.
Spitfire's audience.
Hi, how are you?
My head is ringing. My stomach is turning. I'm quite angry, quite pissed.
What's up?
Oh, well, you know, the same problem as always. People sign up for a tournament, don't read the rules, don't read that they have to be in the TeamSpeak. At least the team captains have to be in TeamSpeak. And as you know, we had to prepare everything in advance, also for you as streamers and also for us to organize.
Hype versus BPE.
Yes, and how does it look?
Hype has won 2 out of 3 games, and BPE is heavily on the back foot here. BPE is really screwing up their team composition. How many?
Okay.
I think Hype has probably taken a Merc and a 90ms instead of 4 types. But after this, how many more games?
That's the final one for today.
Okay, when's the next tournament then?
Next weekend, next Saturday.
Okay,
it's the finals.
Because I'm ready to drop here. I've actually been preparing since 3 o'clock.
Yes, sorry for that, but I, you know, after 2 weeks of now ill sleep, because I'm very, you know, it's positive stress for me. As you know, I like to organize stuff, and normally things play out as I organize them. But this today was a total disaster in my eyes. Because if you think of so many clans not showing up for a tournament we really planned hard on, and we even had last Saturday we got the news that we have to allow the Russians to play within tournament, or because it was planned otherwise, you know?
It was planned as an EUNA.
Yes. But then we only need to speak English. But today we need... I have an old friend, Yermak. You see him in the channel below there. So a shout out to him. Thank you very much. He was like... He's an old friend I played Arma with years ago. And he today even changed his military service appointment for today. He here to translate. Because I couldn't get even a Russian-speaking CM for us as translators. And they were like, yeah, most of our team speak basic English.
So, how many streamers do you have doing this?
Perhaps the same as today.
I mean, I only see one other streamer in the streaming section.
Yeah, I think Zuberg has left now, because no Russian team is playing any longer.
So we have Hype as a mixed team, so the same as BPE. And they may have.
But unfortunately, he didn't even came here to say hello. He's there. I just saw him after that.
That's okay. So Hype's gone with a pretty mixed team now, the same as BPE, and I imagine they've both either come to a gentleman's arrangement, or they may have just decided to maybe go easy on BPE, because BPE's been fighting with mixed teams now and Type now, and Hype will as well. They might have done this just to see how difficult it can be, because this win is in the bag for them no matter what. So, this is the last game of today's tournament. Hype versus BPE, and it is...
Oh, by the way, yeah, there is another streamer. Primer is in Group G at the moment. He's not in his cabin.
Oh, right, okay.
And by the way, Spitfire, I have to thank you very much that you stepped in here. And it's very appreciated from the decod.
It's alright, I ended up reading from my homework book for about 40 minutes.
Yeah, I'm very sorry for the delay, but normally people know what we are doing, what they should do. But they read the rules, and the Russians were pointing out questions that nobody understood. Because, you know, normally you know that when you have read the rules.
So we have both the Type 99s go up to position 2 as they're the fastest, and so they probably have the best idea to go down there, while their 90ms and Merkava being the slower and the less armor tank in this case are instead going to sit at 2 and hold it down. So Hype will likely clear out this bit and then join forces down to 2, but I'm aware BPE is probably aware of this fact, so they'll probably try and see if they can hang on this for as long as possible. But Hype is winning this fight because they're starting to get BPE Centaur 120 down, and Hype's 120 is done by a very good player who's going to probably take this Merc's clock. Okay, he is. I'm actually going to record all of these. Well, this is so I'll have 3 recordings. Each recording will be 45 minutes long, which will be grouped into 3 videos. So 3 are free. There'll be 45
Oh, that's
minutes
great.
on. And then I'll publish these on probably tomorrow, Wednesday and Friday. So at least I have content ready for next week, yay. Or I might publish them all on one day each, I'm not sure.
That's cool.
But yeah, Hype has pretty much cleaned the top part of the map, and now they're all moving up to...
How much minutes they have got left?
There is 12 minutes.
Okay, then in 12 minutes it's all over.
Well,
By the way, did you... Yeah, go on.
Hype is basically... They've basically won this. They already have 2 wins out of 3 games. So this is likely just so they can get another free game. I'm actually annoyed because I didn't know that the Caucus Crate skin existed, and now I have no idea where to get one. And I want a black skin pretty badly.
Oh yeah. So, by the way, for you viewers, I hope you all will watch the Festival of Remembrance tomorrow.
I will probably be asleep.
Well, you know, for me as a German, it sounds a little bit crazy, but without the Brits, without the Russians, the Americans...
Rather we not...
Yep, good idea.
Get into this.
I'm a little bit tired right now,
it's okay.
That's why.
I'm pretty tired as well. So BPE is having to fall back. I imagine they probably want to go for the pillboxes, but Hype's Merc at 90 ms to keep them
User
in place.
left your channel.
But of course Hype does have that very low hit point type 99, so he's probably just going to see if he can suicide and get a new tank. Hype did manage to kill that Merc at T90 ms, but I think it took a little bit too long for it to happen. And BPE may be able to get that the AC-130, because now for once Hype has actually lost most of its tanks, but they will be spawning in quickly, so Hype is very likely to going to try and intercept them. But now the cap points has changed, but Hype is still about almost 700 points ahead of BPE, so this should go probably the same way as everyone, but I predict this will probably be a much closer fit game. Because once that AC-130 is in play, it will start harassing Hype's tanks. And they'll either have to deal with it or simply suck up to the damage. Oh, and I'm almost out of water. 19 mass is gonna go. So this isn't 19 mass. He's probably gonna go up here. Concentrate on the leopards first. I don't think taking the leopards was a good idea for BPE. The leopards never really been good tanks in PvP or GLOPS, in all honesty. The Leopard 2 Evo and the Revo are probably the only 2 good leopards in the game. The Leopard 2 AX is a really nice gun, but its hull armor sucks. The same for the Leopard 2A6, for the 2A5, for the Leopard 2, and also for Leopard 1A5 and Leopard 1. So taking them into GLOPS like this, basically a tank which has to be hull down, is never a particularly good idea because it simply doesn't have the flexibility of the type or the sheer bunker power of the Merkava. So we're pretty much split between the cap circle, that pillbox. I'm not sure why it's down there. It's actually closer for Hype to reach, as it's simply a straightforward march from the road, whereas BPE would have to cut through rough terrain. When Sebastian gets this Centaur 120, oh, he's probably kicking himself for that one right now. You can do it. You can get it. Okay, he's got it. Sebastian may be in a slightly exposed position there. If I was that Leopard, I would definitely be going for him right now. Let's see from Burgal's point of view. Okay, so far they've actually forgotten about that T90 MS for now. The question is... Okay, so his lower plate is kind of there, but it also isn't, so it can be slightly difficult to pen. That's probably why they didn't go for it. Zabroni is capping the pillboxes. No, sorry, he's capping point 4. So now both cap points are under Hype's control. And of course next week we've got this tournament to stream as well, so there'll be probably another 9 matches or so, I think. Maybe not. Don't know. Unfortunately, a lot of players didn't come. Some Russians and some otherwise, so we've had some non-shows. And I will be publishing BPE versus Din versus Hype, and Hype versus BPE. Each recording will be 45 minutes long, so it will simply be all the matches scratched into each other, and then they'll be released one day after the episode, presumably Sunday, Tuesday. Hype's bomber is in a pretty good place right now. As you can see here, that Type blocking them in, and then they can get them in points. They can come off that murderer, and the 286, and the Merkava. So that's a very good kill there. Strategic use of bombers as well as trapping people in place is what BPE was previously doing to Din, and presumably what Hype has been did to Paziega, which I wasn't able to cover because, well, 2 games going on at the same time. Can't really do that. Friendly little boop there. What are they going to do now? So now the pillboxes are on BPE's side. Let's have a look at Hype's. I just realised I had a volume control on my keyboard. Wow. So let's see what Inside Tank is going to go here. This guy has had a great game the entire way around, in all honesty. So he's going to start going for this lineup here, or at least he's going to be able to distract them. Remember, in these kind of battles, distracting your enemy can be as much good as killing them. As we've seen before with the feints by BPE on Din, Hype's usage of the Centaur 120 here, and the solo player run has actually really worked well for them. See here, Centaur 120 going for each other means that it's simply a high power gun that isn't in the fight and can be used for something else. Well, relating to MBTs anyway. And as you can see here, Inside Tank is having a whale of a game here. However, he's emptied his ready rack and he now has a 6-second reload. Sebasta is sneaking along. He's going to keep that truck in between them and force them to waste a shot. But right now, I would imagine getting a kill on that Leopard, or maybe the Centaur 120 is going to go for the Leopard, I'm not sure. No. Leopard's alive. And goes straight to that lower plate and done. Once again, they've cleared off this map. That Merc will probably be dead very soon. Let's have a look at Foxtrot. What's he doing? As usual, taking out the Type 99 is a real bitch, to be honest. That's Greek here. I have no idea how to pronounce any of their names, by the way. But they've got that cap zone under control, and they might move into the bomber at some point. I'm not sure. But Inside Tank has been alive for quite a while now. I'm surprised they haven't really dispatched anyone to deal with him. Even their own Centaur could probably kill him at this point. A single heat shell or a single AP shell will really be able to take care of him. And they know where he is at this point, really. And he's simply biding his time and waiting until he can strike out of the shadows and go straight for them. Slightly missed there. Don't know a hit. I can't really... The damage numbers are really hard to pick out sometimes simply because of, well, you know. I'll laugh if he dies from falling damage. No, he isn't. And Hype has another bomber, so we're probably going to see another repeat. Or maybe yeah, see, they're going to use it to disrupt that firing line. See that T-20 mess currently really trying to back out of the way. Is he The thing is that he was actually projected to be safe on the minimap, and that is actually a problem with the bombers, in my opinion, is that the minimap wise. See Hype getting rid of that Leopard 2A6 over there. You get one guy to smash into his face, and one guy to do otherwise. I've never actually really been on a team like this. Doubt anybody will let me in anyway, but I think I did do this quite a lot with Arcane Below. And this kind of play will really, really allow you to dominate people. If they can't be one step ahead of you, you can just basically wipe the floor with them, which is what Hype has done. I do think that not having a Type 99s has really screwed with BPE this game, and in all honesty, Hype have basically been better players in this one. But BPE did do a good showing, and they definitely did a pretty good game. So, congratulations to everyone involved. We have had Hype versus BPE. Hype having won all 3 games in a row, doing a little bit more damage, well, a little bit less damage this time. And that's it for the tournament, guys. Thanks for coming, everyone, and I will see you all next week, and hopefully at a designated time at this point, Ruru. And hopefully we won't have any issues with relating to waiting. So take care, guys. I'll see you all Wednesday. Normal hangout stream, Friday PvP, and on Thursday maybe I'll stream Valkyrie Chronicles or something. Of course, next week we got the next part of the tourney. So take care, guys, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.